40-7. Ow. Yikes. Just back to where we were. We had a 2-week reprieve, and now we're 1-6, I think it is. That 2 weeks turned out to be a complete aberration. All the other 5 games, the first 2 of the season, the last 3, whatever it was, bad. We beat the Las Vegas Raiders, had a very competitive game against the Cincinnati Bengals, lost, I think, 34-24. All the other games, we've just gotten our asses kicked. Played Washington today. Went to Washington, FedEx Field. And by the way, Washington will always be the Washington Redskins to me. So went to Washington to play the Redskins. We're not going to RFK Stadium, which was one heck of a home field advantage for a very good Redskins team. We're going to FedEx Field, which by all accounts is the worst stadium in all of the NFL, other than even Soldier Field, probably, the new Soldier Field. At least that's somewhat intimate and provides a home field advantage, not to mention the weather later in the year, but by all accounts there's no real advantage by playing in Washington against the Redskins. But the only skin that was red today, since they can't be called the Redskins no more, was the skin on our asses because they kicked them so hard. Andy Dalton, I mean, he's trying his best, but he just ain't got it. But I mean, nobody on this team has it. Is going to have it the way this roster is built and the way this organization is run. 2 interceptions early. We wound up bringing Bryce Young back in. Didn't do much. Washington's quarterback, they're up 10-0. He got hurt. Hope he's okay. They brought in Marcus Mariota. And, boy, you talk about a blast from the past. I was trying to think of the last time I'd heard that name. I thought he retired a long time ago and just went back to the Hawaiian Islands and, is retired comfortably. But, no, he's playing for the Redskins. He's their backup quarterback. He went in there with a 10-0 lead and promptly dropped another 30 on our heads. I mean, we're just not good in any phase of the game. There's nothing you can, I mean, usually when you're bad and you're losing a lot, there's at least something you can kind of grasp onto and say, okay, if we can just shore this up, if we can, maybe get this player or that player, supplement this part or that part, maybe draft somebody in the upcoming draft, catch a little break here and there, but we're so far from that. I mean, we're out there getting killed every week. This is like a bad college team in a good conference. This is I don't even know who are some of the maybe Purdue in the Big Ten. Of course, I think they've been okay recently, or were at one time, or just one of those stomping stones. It's kind of like Florida State in the ACC this year. Basically an automatic win, it seems like, and not an automatic win, an automatic stomping. And that's just where we're at as the Panthers. It's crazy. I don't understand how a team can just get this bad and this deep in a hole. It's going to be this way for a long time. Because, there's no, well, if we can just fix this, fix that. No, what we need to have is have our owner sell the team, have a whole new front office put in who knows what they're doing, and have an owner who's going to actually let them do their jobs and go through a long rebuild. Unless there's another dumb team out there the Carolina Panthers, to help the Carolina Panthers by giving them a first and a second round pick in 2 consecutive drafts, plus a really good wide receiver for the right to draft a nondescript quarterback. We just, I don't know. We don't. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's none. There's no light. The only lights we see are the lights from trains fixing to hit us again and again every Sunday. This time it was a burgundy and gold Redskins train. I just don't know where to go from there. I mean, congrats to Marcus Mariota. I always thought he was better than he really had a chance to be. But he kind of showed it today. But when you light the Panthers up, you're not going to boost your stock too terribly much. Boy, it makes you wonder what the world's wrong with the Bengals only beating us by 10. And, gosh, the Vegas Raiders, they have issues. They gave up Devontae Adams back to the Jets. He was disgruntled there. Seems like the whole team's disgruntled. I guess that's how they do it now in the NFL. You don't like a coach, just stop playing and show no pride out there and let them get fired, then start playing. But, I mean, like I said, I wish we had that ability to start playing again. I wish that's what we were doing right now. I wish we were trying to get a coach fired, and then we get him fired, and then we'd be able to start turning it on again, because as shameful as that is, as shameful as that act is, at least we'd have that potential. We ain't got that potential, man. We suck, man. There's no two ways about it. And like I said, the biggest thing is there's no like hope on the horizon. You know, we don't have a young team that's trying to build. We don't have, we're not in a rebuilding phase. We don't have a lot of really good draft picks we're looking at. We don't have, like I said, even if we do draft well or have a good player wind up in our laps the way our organization's structured, the way our owner runs us, that ain't gonna matter. We're just gonna keep losing and losing and losing. At the beginning of the year, I was talking about we are on 0-17 watch, but then we beat the Raiders, and so that went away. But now it's like, are we on 1-16 watch? I mean, I think we'll get about 3 wins this year, I think, at some point, but I don't know. Judging by these last few weeks, we're just getting destroyed. I mean, it's not even close. Like I said, that's a 33-point loss. So we have to find a way to score 4 more touchdowns and 2 field goals at some point to win by 1 point. So we have to somehow add that to what we've done. Which in this case would be 41 points, which would involve us basically having our score that we scored times 6. We'd have to do that 6 times as much. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen overnight. That doesn't happen in a year. That doesn't happen in 3 or 4 years. Unless you, again, have a Herschel Walker that a team's going to give up 100 million draft picks for, or if you have a team like the Carolina Panthers, ironically, that are going to trade you in consecutive years first-round draft picks and a very good wide receiver. Our future is bleak, and that's kind of scary, the fact that we're looking at being even worse than we are now. I mean, how much further down the line can you go until you just say, I'm never going to stop pulling for them. They're never going to stop being my team. But, I mean, good Lord. It's just like Sundays. I mean, anything else to do besides watch football? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is other than get David Tepper to sell the team. That's about all I can think of. Get David Tepper to sell the team and buckle up for a long rebuild. But until he sells the team, it's just going to be that's our reality year after year after year. So sucks. It's tough. It's tough getting our asses whooped like that, but it happened. Can't say anything about it. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for the subscriptions. Thanks for the views, and I will talk to you probably some tomorrow. Probably about the WNBA. We'll see I'll have to scour the news and YouTube and see what dumb thing they've done this time. So thank you guys, and I'll talk to you later.